told your friend you're not okay.
What initially seemed like a simple moment turned into an unstoppable global topic. Amidst the bustle of crowded Mexico City, amidst the hustle and bustle of tourists and the sounds of busy traffic, a lone figure walked slowly with a calm stride that made the entire world stop. Kim Tae-young. There was no large escort, no professional cameras, no elaborate production. Yet his star aura cut through the crowd like a light impossible to ignore. And even more striking, he didn't seem to be just passing by. He was observing. He was enjoying. He was absorbing. As if he were absorbing every detail of the historic building that stood majestically before him. It was a moment that sparked thousands of speculations, millions of comments, and hundreds of news stories from around the world. Because Tae-young, in his quiet, mysterious way, never does anything without leaving the world wondering, what is he thinking? What is he planning this time? Eyewitnesses reported that Tae-young stood for a long time, longer than a typical tourist would. He stared at the structure like an artist reciting a poem. His dark brown eyes moved slowly, following the contours of the arched door, noting the carvings carved centuries ago, and even tracing the layers of ancient stone that seemed to hold 1,000 stories. Every second felt like a clip from a classy film, full of nuance and rich atmosphere. To anyone else, it might have been just a moment of enjoying the architecture. But to ARMY, to the industry, to the world that knows Tae-young as an artistic figure who always thinks beyond expectations, the moment held 1,000 possibilities. Some fans immediately connected it to Tae-young's artistic style, often filled with classic visual elements, warm tones, and touches of retro cinema. Others believed Tae-young was gathering references for BTS's upcoming stage concept, perhaps a touch of Mexican culture, a mix of amber and gold, or even inspiration from traditional motifs steeped in history. Someone on set said that Tae-young had been typing something on his phone, as if jotting down an idea that had just popped into his head, and this small detail further fueled fans' imaginations. What if Tae-young was contemplating the visuals for a new project? Given his extensive portfolio in photography, video, and creative production, it's not impossible that his attention to Mexico City's architecture is part of the preparation for something much bigger. A music video with a Mesoamerican cinematic feel, a special edition photo book, an art travel documentary, or even a solo project that blends elements of modern and traditional culture. And those who know him know one thing. Tae-young never does things the usual way. If he chose Mexico as his inspiration, then the world can be prepared for a work that could change the aesthetic standards of K-pop entirely. But there's another, no less interesting interpretation, that Tae-young was seeking tranquility before facing the thousands of fans already packed into the city. Mexico is not only a city steeped in history, but also a city full of energy. And perhaps, he simply wanted a moment to catch his breath, calm himself, and absorb the different atmosphere before the big stage lights up. Every artist needs quiet space, and Tae-young seems to have chosen a historic building as a place to rediscover his inner rhythm and calm. Fan cameras captured the way his hair moved slightly in the afternoon breeze, and the way the sunset gently touched his face. The scene felt like a snapshot from an art magazine, natural, elegant, and with an emotional depth that couldn't be faked. Tae-young looked like someone who was letting the world inspire him, not the other way around. There were no camera smiles, no forced poses. Just Tae-young and the historic building, standing strong as if holding a visual secret deliberately offered to him. And when the video went viral, fans began putting the pieces together. Was this a sign that BTS's Mexico concert would have a specific theme? Was Tae-young planning something grandiose? Or was he making this trip part of a creative process that would be revealed soon? There were no definitive answers, and that's where his power lay. Mystery was part of Tae-young's appeal. He didn't need to speak to get the world talking. He didn't need to announce a project to have everyone searching for signs of it. His mere presence was enough to get the media buzzing. One witness even claimed to have seen Tae-young standing for quite some time in front of a giant mural depicting the history of the Mexican people's struggle. A mural full of color, intensity, and powerful emotional expression. In the video, which was vaguely recorded by a passing fan, Taeyong is seen standing with his hands in his pockets, his head slightly bowed, as if he were reading the story behind each stroke of paint on the wall. The afternoon breeze gently swayed his hair, while the mural's colors enveloped his silhouette. The scene felt like a cinematic scene too beautiful to ignore. Many then speculated that Taeyong was studying Mexican aesthetics from various angles: architecture, street art, cultural textures, and historical symbols scattered throughout the city. He wasn't just looking, he was experiencing it. He wasn't just traveling, he was reading, interpreting, and absorbing it. And each detail felt like a puzzle piece of a larger project he hadn't yet revealed to the world. To make matters even more intriguing, rumors began to spread that Taeyong had briefly spoken with a local artist who happened to be in the area of the mural. There are no clear photos, no definitive video, only testimonies from several people who claim to have witnessed the interaction. They said Taeyong pointed to a specific section of the mural, smiled slightly, and then nodded, as if acknowledging its artistic merit. Speculation surged. What if Taeyong was considering an international art collaboration? What if he was building a cultural bridge between South Korea and Mexico through a global visual project? And amidst all this, additional news came from BTS's concert crew. They confirmed that the Mexico concert stage would feature visual elements never before used in any country during the global tour. The specific elements were still under wraps, but the enthusiastic tone of the team led ARMY to believe Taeyong must have had a hand in the creative process. He is known for being very particular about stage aesthetics, lighting, color, mood, and even the subtle symbolism that fans often only notice long after the concert is over. Even days before his arrival, one of the stage designers had posted a mysterious image on social media, a sketch depicting Mesoamerican geometric ornamentation, combined with the elegant minimalist style so synonymous with Taeyong's artistic taste. The post was quickly deleted, but fans have been saving it since it first appeared. Now, the pieces of information are starting to make more sense. If Taeyong is indeed involved, then the concert in Mexico isn't just a concert, but an artistic experience imbued with a rich cultural, historical, visual, and emotional atmosphere. Some industry analysts are even making bold predictions that Taeyong's current visit to Mexico may be related to a new era of his creativity. They believe this trip isn't just about concert preparation, but also about finding a new visual identity that will shape his next solo project. Taeyong has always been known as one of the most artistically mature idols, and he rarely does anything spontaneous without meaning. So it's no wonder the world is now watching his every move more closely. There's also another story that further strengthens the theory that Taeyong is entering a major creative phase. The same night after his exploration, the lights of Mexico City lit up like thousands of giant fireflies. According to reports from several fans staying in the area of the hotel where BTS was staying, Taeyong was seen sitting on the balcony, gazing out at the city view with a cup of hot drink in hand. He seemed calm, lost in his own thoughts, as if formulating new ideas. Several times he was seen holding up his phone, recording the night view, and taking photos of the sky glowing like neon paintings. The sights reinforced the suspicion that he was gathering inspiration, not just from buildings and street art, but from the entire atmosphere of the city. The lights, colors, sounds, scents, and stories swirling in the Mexican air. It all felt like creative fuel for a new work the world had yet to discover. And as usual, this mystery had the entire ARMY in detective mode. Taeyong's every move was dissected, every photo analyzed, every gesture interpreted as a hint of something to come. But what made it all so fascinating was the fact that Taeyong never forced the world to figure it out. He simply walked, observed, absorbed, and the world slowly built theories around him. This is real.